Positive emotion. This is the title of this course. The art and science of creating and maintaining them. Okay. First of all, the American School for the Development of Emotional Balance would like to welcome you to this course. That more than a course is a training and also is a discipline. This is very important for you to know. What are the positive emotions? What's the meaning of all this? They are states of consciousness that lead us to harmony and peace. Or better said, that lead us to states of harmony and peace. But pay attention to this. Anything that does not lead us to these states is not a positive emotion. If you do not feel harmony and peace, we are not in presence of a positive emotion. Maybe another thing, an attractive one, very attractive, but it is not a positive emotion. You may have this in mind all the time. The positive emotion make up what has been called in neuroscience the family of happiness. There are many families. The family of rage, the family of anger, the family of terror, the family of envy, the family of anguish, the family of cowardice. There are many, many families, but this is the best of them. So let's continue. Which are the three main characteristics of positive emotion? The first one, they do not distort reality, as it happens with negative emotions, but on the contrary, they allow us a crystalline appreciation of it, thus allowing us to modify it without margin of error. This is very important. With positive emotion, you may or you can see the reality as the reality truly is. Then that leads us to the second one, that consequently they do not tarnish our capacity of judgment, but on the contrary, they lead us to evaluate all situations with full knowledge of all the facts. And the third one, therefore, because of all this, they not only do not produce harm because their nature is pristine, but they also help us to free ourselves from all the negative and confusing thoughts caused by the destructive emotions. But the great secret of all this is that positive emotions can be created from our inner powerhouse, which is the inner source that gives us life, movement, health, intelligence from the inside to the outside. So the correct word is to bring them out from within, to attract them to the conscious sphere, from the unconscious to the conscious sphere. Understanding this implies a real paradigm shift in the search for constructive serenity. In other words, we are going to explore the brilliant suggestions of being blissful. What happens? In an inner powerhouse that everybody has, is everything we need to be happy and to feel fulfilled. But we have kept this knowledge under seven locks or seven seals, always turning to the outside and allowing ourselves to fall prey to all negative emotions where the gale of confusion, pain, anger, and envy, and all negative vibration rages. And what happened with this? Thus we have lived lost for millennia as strangers who do not know where to go. And these people, all in black, they don't know where to go. They are standing in different colors environment, but really they don't know. They don't know each other. They are dark. They are confused. This is a very beautiful image to figure all this. But the main question of all this discipline, of all this training is, do we want to continue like this? Let's take the answer to this question very seriously. Because many people, fearful of leaving their comfort zone, which, although negative, is the only one they know, and in which they feel safe, do not allow themselves to undertake a study that would lead them to inner freedom. So, but as always the decision is up to each one of us, and we must make it with full freedom of conscience and without fear. Positive emotion lead the person always out of fear. But what will happen if we decided to stay in the comfort zone? Because many people say, no, I don't want to leave that. It's the only thing I know. I am afraid of the outside world. And they really feel that perhaps if they leave the comfort zone, everything is going to fall upon their head like an avalanche. So what happened? Negative emotions reduce people's perspective and weaken them, permanently enslaving them. And they keep them focused on the specific problems of the present, the conflictive situations of the past, and the vicissitudes and fears for the future. An eternal slave. In this way, people live on their knees in front of their doubts, their personal problems, their endless debts, their illnesses, their panics and confusion, and always locked in the same problems, unable to get out of these vicious circles only for lack of adequate knowledge on how to maneuver these issues. Very harsh. Positive emotion, on the other hand, broaden our attention and expand our thoughts. Thus, they allow us to develop creativity and thus exponentially increase our chances of success because they not only encourage us to act, but are fertile ground for detecting new perspectives and opportunities. In this way, they increase our capacity to commit ourselves to new projects and ideas and to approach new studies and knowledge that until now we could not contact because we were totally blinded to them. Consequently, they also increase our motivation and awaken the inner genius that exists in each of us. And that is very important because each person has his or her inner genius developed and is hidden, locked under seven seals. But which are the positive emotions? Well, let's make a little joy, repose, gratitude, we name them, relief, serenity, fulfillment, hope, power of wonder, inspiration, empathy, dynamism, creativity, indañability, ahimsa is an Indian word, the ahimsa. In Spanish we said indañabilidad. Curiosity, admiration, satisfaction, peace of mind, and the enthusiasm. The two main gates to enter to positive emotion are curiosity and enthusiasm. The person that feels curiosity and feels self-enthusiasm, it goes in the right, it's a step in the right direction. It goes through a positive emotions environment, and that is very, very important. If you are not, if you are not a curious person, and you has not enthusiasm, lack of enthusiasm is a gate to depression. That's why this is so serious. And mainly the main emotion of the mother of the family of happiness, there are joy, bliss and joy are synonyms, more or less. Equanimity, serenity, empathic joy, constructive compassion, because there is afflictive compassion. We are not going now to review this issue, but we are only naming them. But there is a constructive compassion There is an indifferent compassion and there is an afflicted compassion. There are many things here that form a special environment. Then, spiritual peace, and unconditional love. When we say love a person, that we call love is full of egotism, pure egotism. I want that person for me. I want to control that person. What that person is, what that person wants, I don't know. But I want that person near. This is not unconditional love. This is so far from love as the stars. Okay, but what will this training provide us with? First of all, positive emotion have the intrinsic power to quickly push negativity out of our lives, as they are part of our life structure. Therefore, the more positive emotion we experience in a day, the less likely we are to be invaded by negative thoughts. Just as light pushes away darkness and allows us to see, so positive emotion pushes away conflict, illnesses, depressions, and phobias because the light emitted by them does not let them come. They can't come. They don't let them come. It does not let them come. Always remember this, which is the most important thing of all. Second one, the immune system strengthens itself because the main weakener of the immune system is precisely the accumulation of negativity that we always carry with us, as if it were a heavy backpack. Positive emotion activate very important brain neurotransmitters such as oxytocin, which produces confidence, serotonin, which produces tranquility, and dopamine, which produces pleasure, and mainly endorphins, the great supporters of joy. That is why the positive person is even neuronally protected against diseases, since these neurotransmitters form a defense barrier in itself. And third, the positive emotion has an incredible strength per se. It allows us to overcome negativity because it has a higher vibration than negative emotion, which are of very low vibration and are slower and weaker, although at first glance it may seem otherwise. When positive emotions become a habit, they create a permanent state and thus allow us to create a virtuous circle of creativity, strength, decisiveness, and the ability to move forward, no matter how difficult the external environment is. And precisely because of this, many negative things will no longer come close to us because they have been filtered by the powerful containment mesh and then eradicated almost permanently from our life. Therefore, being positive is the best investment we can make, as it involves creating a true immune system against all negativity. What does this training lead to? Well, we have there in the picture a Spanish word, dinamismo, and a person that jumps from cliff to cliff. So, to encourage, what does mean? What does it mean? To encourage personal dynamism to achieve and maintain a state of balance, wholeness. So that's all for today. And now it's time to say goodbye. And in the next class, we will move from theory to practice and create here, all together, our first positive emotion. That will be bliss, joy. Until then, I wish you a beautiful week full of wonders and, of course, full of positive emotion. Until then, have a great time. Bye bye.